So in this video, we're going to talk about using operators in Java. So we're going to dive right in with some examples that will hopefully illuminate what operators are. Let's say that we've declared three integer type variables. Int x equals 5, int y equals 13, and int z. We haven't given z a value yet. Well, there are some operators that exist for integers, including plus, minus, so addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equals, equals, and the percent operator, the modulus, which we'll get to, because that's one that you may not be familiar with. So if we say z equals x plus y, we're going to make z equal to the sum of 5 and 13, or 18. If we say z equals x minus y, that's going to make z equal to 5 minus 13, which is -8. If we say z equals x times y, then z is going to be 5 times 13, which is 65. Now here's one that may be a little bit unusual to you. If I say z equals y divided by x, and then I say system.out.println z, what's going to get printed out? Well, if we take an integer divided by an integer, you have to go back to elementary school when you first learned division. How many times does 5 go into 13? 5 goes into 13 2 times. So z is going to be 2. Actually, I probably want to put that up here. And this is going to print 2. It's not going to print 2.6. It's going to print 2 because it does integer math. So to complement that, if I say z equals y percent x, percent is the modulus, or the remainder operator. So in that case, z is going to be 3, because 3 is the remainder when you divide 13 by 5. Then these other operators up here, these are logical operators that compare two things. So if I have the expression x less than y, well, 5 is less than 13. So this one will be true. And these all less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, they work the way you expect. The one that's maybe a little bit unusual, and we're going to talk about now about why it's this way, is equals equals, right? Equals equals is the operator. You know what, I'm going to put this in a different color to show you it's not code. It's the operator check to see if two values are equal. Literally, it's checking to see if the bits for either of the variables or the things being compared, of those variables, are the same bits. And why do we need to have an equals equals operator? Well, if you think about it, up here, we had all these equal signs, right? And those equals there are assignment operators. The single equal sign in Java assigns value to a variable. So if we want to check to see if two variables are equal, we need to use equals equals as that operator. Now, if we move on here, we can look at doubles, right? Remember, again, those are decimal numbers. They have mostly the same operators as ints. Plus, minus, times, divide, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equals equals. But no percent operator. Why? Well, if you think about it a little bit, if we have 13 divided by 13.0 divided by 5.0, or even 13.0 divided by 5, then we're not doing integer math, right? If it's decimal numbers, it's going to be 2.6. In other words, if we have double x equals 13, double y equals 5, double z equals x divided by y. Well, in that case, z is going to be 2.6. So up here, x is going to be 13.0, y is going to be 13.0. Okay? Now, those operators have the operators for operate differently for different types of variables. With Booleans, we don't have plus, minus, divide. Booleans have equals equals. If we're talking about strings don't have multiply and divide and subtract. Strings, even though they're not a primitive type, they're a reference variable, do have the plus operator. But it doesn't add the values, it concatenates. Concatenates two strings, which means it puts them together. So if you have string A equals broad, string B equals sword, and string C equals A plus B, well, C is going to be broadsword, because concatenation literally means to put the two strings together. Now we're going to I'm gonna stop here. We're gonna have another video that talks a little bit about equals equals and why equals equals works differently for primitive types than it does for reference variables.